FloWrestling Night in America alongside former Nebraska Kearney wrestler J.D. Rader. I'm Shane Sparks. J.D., when it comes to Oklahoma and wrestling, those two go together like peanut butter and jelly.
No kidding. And it doesn't get better than Edmond North and Ponca City. When you think Oklahoma wrestling, you think Ponca City. You think Doug Blueball, Shelby Wilson. And when you think about what Oklahoma high school wrestling has become, you think about this record-setting program of Edmond North.
With Edmond North last year at the state tournament, all 14 in the top 3. They had 8 state champions. Plenty more wrestling to come with FloWrestling Night in America. Right back at it next week on Wednesday and Thursday. Look at that first couple of weeks of January. The big one on January 8th with Bishop McCourt and Wyoming Seminary, 2 of the top 5 teams in the high school rankings. Looking at the matchups, Devin Miller, he's the showcase in that first slate.
That's right. Really good lightweight you're going to want to key in on. He's committed to North Carolina, one of the top 100 recruits in the country, regardless of weight.
And I am really looking forward to watching Cody Rutledge coming off a sensational weekend at the Ironman.
That's right. Everybody in Oklahoma knows this name. Cody Rutledge, he dominated a tough 157-pound bracket at Ironman. Going to be at 165 tonight. Really one of the bright young stars in the sport of wrestling.
And we are starting here at 120 pounds. Edmond North receiving forfeits at 106 and 113. This is Jake Gooden, a senior. And he's quickly out in front, 7-0. And looking to give the Huskies 6 more. He's got them tight center of the mat. Good start here for Edmond North. And it is a fall for Jake Gooden, a 3-time state medalist. Last year the state champion in Oklahoma at 106 pounds. The junior Greco All-American gives Edmond North 6 more, and that gives us a team score of 18-0.
Just like that. Only took about 60 seconds here, and Edmond North out to a dominating start.
So a quick start for the Huskies, 18-0 as we turn the page to 126 pounds. It is Tommy Baker, a sophomore, a junior high state champion last year for Edmond North. And Josue Madrano, a senior for Ponca City. FloWrestling Night in America, glad to have you aboard on this Thursday evening. And wasting no time on a leg attack, JD, it took him 4 seconds.
Textbook low single, phenomenal head position to the finish, beautiful transition right into this bar. And unconventional turn attempt there once he got the bar. Normally you see a guy either go to a wrist like he has now, nice roll through tilt. Keeping Madrano right in the bread basket. And nice.
And a half Nelson, and now looking for a fall. He's got him tight. A first period fall for Tommy Baker, the sophomore for Edmond North. Back-to-back pins from Gooden and Baker. 6 more on the team scoreboard for the Huskies, who now lead at 24-0.
Baker doing a little Trump celebration. Did the dance, the golf swing.
We talked about some of the history with these programs. You mentioned Doug Blueball and Shelby Wilson, 1960 Olympic Games. They were held in Rome, both of those gold medals. And the Wildcats have won 12 Oklahoma State championships, their last one coming in 2009. For the Huskies, they've had some phenomenal years. They were second in 2022 and 2023. Last year, historic, dominant, memorable, 18-1 in the dual meets. Their only loss was to Wyoming Seminary, 33-32. They fell on criteria. And I guess, JD, this is where I insert the I hope nobody threw a
headgear.
Popular wrestling news on this Thursday after last night with Easton and Nazareth. But what a great year for Edmond North it was a year ago. 14 guys qualified, all 14 top 3, 8 state champions. They graduated 9, but as you can see with this lineup, the cupboard is anything but bare at Edmond North.
Yeah, no kidding. Just a couple matches in, and they are taking care of business. They look like a nationally ranked program.
Ranked 14th in the country, of course. Check out the rankings at FloWrestling.com. Faith Christian Academy ranked number 1. Bishop McCord is second, followed by Wyoming Seminary. Again, we'll have that match January 8th. And quick scoring once again for Edmond North as we wrestle here at 132 pounds. This is Devin Miller, ranked 19th in the country, down at 126. This is some kind of talent, JD.
Yeah, no kidding. Like I said, continuing to just stay on the attack. Cut and release. He's just drilling out there.
Devin Miller, 2024 state champion. He won Fargo in 2023. He beat world champion Paul Kenny at the Super 32s, made it to the blood round there, and also to the blood round last weekend at the Walsh Ironman tournament. Speak to the level of competition these programs seek out, JD.
Man, there's really nothing you can compare it to if you haven't been around a program like that. 98% of wrestlers will never even sniff that level of competition. You have to truly go out of state and seek that national level of competition, and that's what a program like Edmond North does.
And Devin Miller, the senior who is headed for North Carolina, gets the first period fall. That is 3 straight pins here for the Huskies, following the 2 forfeits at 106 and 113. It is now a 30-0 score. Shane Sparks, JD Radar. FloWrestling Night in America. Of course, this morning you guys were right next to us in this studio for Flow Radio Live, and you guys are back at it again on Monday with all the happenings around the sport of wrestling.
That's right. You can tune in every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Time, where we talk everything from what happened the weekend before, preview what's ahead, anything else and anything in between. If people are throwing headgears, taking team points, we talk about that as well, what rule changes we want to see and stuff like that. So it's a fun time, just a couple of guys talking wrestling.
Every Monday and Thursday right here on Flow Wrestling Live. 138 pounds. This is Sawyer Hackbarth, a junior, 2024 Junior Greco All-American for Oklahoma. It is Ryan Olvera, a freshman for Ponca City. And this Edmond North team, JD, it is stacked up and down. You look at the accolades, state championships, a lot of Fargo accolades as well. Wrestling is important in Oklahoma.
It's in the blood there. And Hackbarth with a beautiful headlock. I know you like a good headlock, Shane.
We saw 2 great headlocks last night.
Yes, we did.
What a dual meet that was last night. Union County, it came down to the final match. Union County getting the win. Had a good college duel last night as well. Super excited with Flow Wrestling Night in America. It's great to be here with you, JD. We have high school and college wrestling during the week. It'll hold us over to the weekend where, of course, Flow Wrestling each and every weekend has a huge slate of great matchups, tournaments, dual meets, you name it. It's right here on Flow Wrestling.
That's right. If your weekend is your entree, that's your full-on burger and fries. This is your appetizer. This is your order of wings and nachos.
This is a great wedge salad with this.
That's right.
No question. Had a good wedge salad last night. It was phenomenal. Hackbarth looking for another stick. Inside of 45 seconds in the first period, another pin for the Huskies. And it has been a dominating night for Edmond North as they now lead it 36-0 after 6 matches. Sawyer Hackbarth, the junior, at 138. Gets his arm raised. 144 pounds is up next. It's FloWrestling Night in America here on Flow Sports.
So 135, taking Stewart. $140, we also got a forfeit. It's Clover Williams. And also picking up another forfeit decision for your Huskies is Taylor Brown at 145 pounds. Checking in for Ponca City on that one is Hebler. And for your Huskies, Maya Zabrinsky. £144, Carlos Olvera for Ponca City, and Tommy Barrett for your Huskies.
This is Tommy Verrette, junior for Edmond North, a Colorado high school state champion last season before moving to Oklahoma. Lots of accolades, and quickly JD, good on his feet, great with those turns, 13-2 lickety split.
Absolutely. Verrette, a Cornell commit, so you know he's absolutely solid. Smart in the books, too.
Two-time Greco National champion, two-time Fargo Freestyle All-American. Made it to the blood round at the Walsh Ironman tournament last week. And he is working on a tech fall here in this first period. So far, Edmond North, it has been nothing but sixes on the scorecard. But this will be a tech fall. 19-2 first period tech fall for the junior from Edmond North, Tommy Verrette, here at 144 pounds. And with that 5 points, the Huskies extend their advantage to 41-0. That Ironman tournament, so good. Bo Bassett wins his 3rd Ironman title. Only 3 have done it. Bo Bassett, David Taylor, Spencer Lee.
That's pretty good company.
Looking at some of the upcoming events here on Flow Wrestling, the Beast of the East, that is always a phenomenal tournament. The Garlic City Rumble will have that one right here to kick off 2025. That event in California, right here, Flow Wrestling Night in America on January 1st. And the week after, they moved it back a week, the Southern Scuffle down at Chattanooga.
That's always been January 1 and 2, as long as I can remember. They're pushing it back a couple days, though, so, hey, fine with me.
I like that. Because the week before that, a couple of other big tournaments. Great slate of college and high school wrestling. So we have a forfeit at 150 pounds. So 6 more points to Edmond North. That event on January 1st, Garlic City, Daniel Cormier involved in that event. He coaches Gilroy, California.
So you know it's
we talked about it a little bit yesterday, like how does he do it? He's doing his UFC stuff, he's coaching wrestling, and by the way, coaching some great high school wrestlers out of Gilroy. And
busiest man in America.
Daniel Cormier, of course, part of the trivia question, one of 4 guys that Cale Sanderson beat to win national titles. I believe that was number 4. I'm almost positive that Cale beat DC to win number 4.
You're quite the encyclopedia of wrestling, Shane.
I'm right most of the time, not always. You want right all the time? I'll give you a guy. I want to say this real quick, too. Kyle Klingman on the women's side. Nobody covers women's wrestling like Kyle Klingman. He is an encyclopedia, and he does great work here on FloWrestling.com. He's one of the best guys to meet in the sport. And I will say this, women's wrestling is so fortunate to have a guy like that really leading the charge on the media side. He's second to none.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Such an exceptional job. Here at 157 pounds, this is Will Deutschlander. Deutschlander, a Texas high school state runner-up last year before coming to Oklahoma. And he will wrestle for the Sooners and Roger Kish. And a quick night for him.
Austin, Texas native, as we are calling this from our Flow studio in Austin, Texas.
It's a beautiful building.
It really is.
Flow Sports moved into this building, been about, what, 2.5 years ago?
About, yeah.
Great building, great culture. It's a happy place. Great snacks, as you well know.
Sometimes too good, you know.
Great
They
snacks.
keep us well fed here at Flow.
That sparkling water that you showed me, fantastic. Great place. We are coming to you live. JD Raider, Shane Sparks, FloWrestling Night in America in our Austin, Texas studios. Flow Sports headquarters. Here we go at 165 pounds. Cody Rutledge, ranked number 2 in the country in the Flow rankings, down at 157. Of course, PJ Duke ranked number 1. But this guy is an absolute hammer, and he's not going to give us enough time to say much about him. But this guy is a great talent, a fall in less than 30 seconds.
Oklahoma State commit, so you're going to be seeing a lot of him for the next 5 years. I got a hunch this guy's going to be pretty good in college.
He wins the Ironman, JD. Bonus point to the top. I mean, this is the Ironman.
He is the 1% of the 1% in high school wrestling. Kind of like you said, sometimes you see it and you forget how hard it truly is to be at that level of wrestling.
You said it, he's heading to Oklahoma State. So much great history in this state between Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, of course, the high school scene. 175 pounds. Grayson Swibold, a senior for Edmond North, and Lance Arbona, a junior for Ponca City. And Arbona with a good start. He gets the first takedown, and he leads it 3-0 as he's riding Swibold there on the edge. Good man awareness, keeping that left foot inside the circle.
And I like this from Arbona. Hey, your team's been struggling here tonight, clearly, but don't let that affect you. Don't be scared of the team you're wrestling. Edmond North, they're the big bad dog in Oklahoma wrestling right now. They're like Iowa wrestling in the 80s or 90s, right? But you don't take a back seat.
So good start here in the first minutes for Lance Arbona. Gets a takedown, doing a good job on that top position. You think about the success of Edmond North, JD, the coaching staff. The coaching staff is incredible. Sam Hazewinkle's on this staff. Boo Llewellyn is on this staff. Mike Arnold won all those titles. And David James led the Bronchos to 12 NCAA Division II national championships. That was at University of Central Oklahoma. You don't have to look far to find a guy in that room on the coaching staff to learn some wrestling from.
No kidding. And almost unlike any other sport, success breeds success and attracts success. They've done a good job of bringing in some guys outside of the Edmond area, move in to the district, who have really helped boost their program.
Head coach is Andrew Schneider. Named the head coach in 2009. He was a junior high coach and assistant coach for 10 years before taking over as the head coach, now in his 16th season. 5-0 short time in this first period. And Swibold gets a tally on the board with the escape, but a good period there from Arbona. Gets that quick takedown, was able to ride Swibold for a good chunk, and then give credit to Swibold in short time. He gets on the board with an escape, and he'll start this second period on bottom.
I like the stand-up off the whistle from Swibold, but got to keep moving. He's got that left arm underneath the leg. If he can circle back out front and almost get into a high crotch sort of position, that's where
you're cradle locked up, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
It's hard to hit a cradle from your hip now, though. Good pressure in from Swybold.
Inside 90 seconds here in this second period. Arbona keeps that right foot inside the circle.
And
if you are Swybold on bottom, JD, what does he need to do to put himself in position to escape?
Right now, get a restart. It's just that right toe of Arbona that's hanging in, keeping you in bounds. They say, don't flee the mat. Flee the mat. Get your restart. Then, off the whistle. You did a great job off the restart last time. You stood up. Do it again, but this time, if you get chopped back down, hit your knee slide, come back up to your feet.
Talking about the chain wrestling, 2, 3, 4 moves you can't stop. You got to just keep fighting and competing in that position. Here he works to his feet. You see Arbona keeping the weight on the hands of Swybold. Now on a single leg. And Arbona just stays on him like a dog on a bone.
That's right. Beautifully timed drop down by Arbona. As soon as Swybold came up off of his quad pod to his feet, chased him down. If you stay in that position, you will get called for stalling. He didn't give the referee any option.
Arbona just hanging there right on the edge. And now we're down to 14 seconds.
Big restart here. And if you're Swybold, you chose down here in this second period. You gotta earn this escape.
Big 14 seconds because with another period left and, of course, that three-point takedown, the four-point turn, things can turn really quickly. But first things first here for Swybold, can he get away? And Arbona, JD, I would say, has probably spent about 3.5 minutes in this top position collectively in the first two periods.
Yeah, if there was riding time in high school wrestling, he would definitely have it, maybe even locked up.
So we are going to go neutral to begin this third period. Mentioned the Huskies in that state tournament last year. They broke the all-time team scoring record, 260.5 points. The previous record was 191. Incredible program at Edmond North. And right now, JD, if you are Arbona, you got to be thinking bonus points for yourself. I know the team scores. That's out of range. I understand that. But if you're him right now, it's a mentality. You want bonus points right here.
Make a statement.
Absolutely. He's in on a single leg. You see Swybold, though, with the hips. Arbona trying to work up and put Swybold on a hip. He's in better position here.
Yep, he's working to hook that bottom leg. You see him there now. He's just going to poke his head out. He's got to extend that left foot out so then he can push off the knee and pop his head out.
Here he goes, just as you said. Now he's crunched back underneath, and that is going to draw a whistle for a stalemate. 54 seconds left in this match at 175 pounds. Grayson Swybold and Lance Arbona. Swybold a senior, Arbona a junior. And look at this. Talked about that three-point takedown. 5-4. He's going to cut him. Here we go, JD. 40 seconds.
It was the slide by and just not a lot of fight from Arbona there. Now he's hitting his own slide by.
Just 30 seconds left in a one-point match. And there's another takedown from Swybold. His second in the third period. And he has taken the lead.
Arbona ran out of gas.
Look at this, 15 seconds. The ride out will give him the win. He's got that near ankle hooked. Arbona head on the mat. It's going to be a stall call on Swybold.
Yeah,
I believe just his first one.
Just his first. Still,
what a crazy change of events. Arbona was dominating this match. We talked about it, probably 3.5 minutes of riding time. He was in full control.
He was suffocating.
And Swybold stops the first move. A couple of takedowns in the third period has given Grayson Swybold the decision at 175 pounds.
You gotta be able to wrestle 6 minutes. Sometimes even more. But if you can only compete at that level for 5 minutes, sometimes you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get run down in those last minutes.
3 matches to go. It is all Edmond North here on FloWrestling Night in America. Back inside Edmond North High School, FloWrestling Night in America. It is all Huskies. Grayson Swybold at 175. A couple of takedowns in the third period to get the decision. 3 matches to go. Edmond North has won every match so far in this duel. Here we go at 190 pounds. Caden Collins for Edmond North. Collins, a sophomore, a junior high state runner-up last year. And Camden Weatherly, a junior for Ponca City. Collins also defensive end on the varsity football team. And he gets around and scores the 3 on the go behind. He'll go to work on top. Good breakdown.
Really liked that arm drag. Nothing fancy. You see it all the time, but I still feel like it is underutilized.
Has the wrist. Gets a tilt. And going to score some near fall. Were you a tilt guy, JD?
I was. I was a big tight waist into a chop, into a tilt.
I mean, I just love that move on top because you get those wrists, you can tilt the guy, and when you're on the wrong side of that, that is such a helpless feeling.
It really is, and it can be a game changer, especially with the 4-point near fall. Look at a guy like Jacob Cardenas at the college level, Michigan 197-pounder.
Tech fall, correct?
Yeah, he tech falled Christian Carroll, who was a top 10 recruit coming out of the country in the first period because of the tilts. Because you can get a quick 4 points, come back, get some more. Just like that, you're already up 8 points, not even including, your takedown. You've already got a major decision.
Those points rack up so fast with those 4-point near falls.
Also a great way to earn a cheap 2, a quick 2 points, Sometimes it can be easier to get a tilt than maybe, say, a bar. You really got to work to turn somebody with a bar or a crate a lot of times. With the tilt, once you get that wrist, that elbow tight, hit your roll through, it's just like that.
Collins with a takedown and a 4-point turn. He's leading at 7-0. Starts the period on bottom. He's quickly to his feet. Heels hands and gets the escape, 8-0. We've talked about this before, JD. 3-point takedown, that's great. That's great. But I am really going to focus on top game with that 4-point near fall for reasons we just spoke about.
Absolutely. Used to be you have to have 5 seconds for a 3 count. Now it's just 3 for a 3 count, and you can get 4. Less seconds for more near fall now.
Just under 90 seconds remaining in the second period.
Weatherly has that collar tie. Collins pressuring in. I'd like to see a snap from Weatherly.
When you think about tilts, who comes to mind first?
Jordan Oliver.
Zago Spencer Lee.
That's gonna. When I think Spencer Lee, I think that bar.
Sure.
That he runs, but I mean, he is probably the best top wrestler I have ever seen in my life.
I mean, he'd be up double digits quickly. I mean, it was like into the first period. If anybody got out of the first period, that was a rarity, but it was 10, 12, nothing. Just complete dominance in that top position.
Basically, cheat code. Automatic 3-4.
You can't give up your wrist. Bad things happen. 8-0 for Caden Collins, the sophomore for Edmond North. He leads it here in the second period. Leading Camden Weatherly. Shot there from Weatherly, but not much of a setup. Straight on shot. And made it an easy go behind for Caden Collins. Another takedown, 11-0. He's in control as he widens the gap.
Yep, Collins saw that shot coming from a mile away.
And the second period comes to a conclusion. We head to the third. Those Edmond North singlets, a little bit of a Penn State look to them.
A little bit. The shades of blue with the white belt.
Darts in on the legs. And it's going to be another score, make it 14-0. Of course, you think about the history in Oklahoma, National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Stillwater. You ever been?
Not to the one in Stillwater. I have been to the one in Waterloo.
Okay. Collins has the wrist. One more turn, it'll be a tech fall. 1:10 remaining, third period. Weatherly's working hard on bottom. He's in a tough spot right here. Now he's going to get rolled through, and this is going to be a tech fall. With the 4 near fall points, 18-0 the final score, as the bonus points continue to pour in for Edmond North. 5 more here at 190 pounds. So Caden Williams, the win at 190. 215 pounds coming up. Looking at our FloWrestling Night in America. Next week on Wednesday, it is Purdue and Cleveland States. Doubleheader next Wednesday. Next Thursday, Cal Poly and Cal Baptist. That'll take us to 2025. And what a great start. Check out that schedule in January.
Yeah, no kidding. I think we've all got that Bishop McCourt Wyoming Seminary duel circled for January 8th, 2 of the top 5 teams in the country.
I want to roll with Bo Bassett. I really believe I can maintain that kind of pace and energy. He's not going to exhaust me,
maybe for 20 seconds.
Watching Bo Bassett, what he did at the Ironman, again claiming that 3rd title, phenomenal. They're ranked 2nd in the country. Them and Wyoming Seminary ranked 3rd. That is going to be a great showdown. Of course, who's number 1? That is my favorite event on the Flow schedule. It always has been. I've been to it before. I actually did the play-by-play for the first couple. But what that event has evolved into, I mean, if you are a high school kid, how can you not beg to wrestle at who's number 1?
Yeah, it's the coolest high school wrestling event every year. I mean, throw out, it's for the number 1 spot in the country. You think about the hype, the gear they get, all the college
yeah, Cliff Keen does a great job with the gear. What a cool event. This year at Pitt Johnstown, Bo Bassett's backyard. It was a great event. R.L. Young, a sophomore, junior high state champion last season, a linebacker on the gridiron for the varsity football team for Edmond North. And Cesar Jimenez, a junior for Ponca City. Single leg here for R.L. Young. Pops his head to the outside, runs his feet. Great job there, JD, with the lower half of his body.
Yeah, Jimenez was thinking headlock, which gave Young the opportunity, and that's what you got to do. If somebody's throwing a headlock on you, tighten the neck, step in single.
Quickly, a hammer lock. If you are Jimenez, you better pop your hips. He does just that. Good job.
He's still in danger here. If Young can throw that right arm across the back and move on to what I call a cow catcher. I know some people call it something else. Oh, and he's going to go around front. Nice transition.
And R.L. Young gives the Huskies another pin. And the Huskies barking loud tonight inside their home gym. R.L. Young, just a sophomore. Brings us to our final match of the night at heavyweights. Landon Williams, a senior. I love reading these nuggets on these guys. Also throws shot and discus for track and field at Edmond North. I love multi-sport athletes. Get involved. They're in high school. Do as many different things as you can. And this is Cooper Rowland. He's just a freshman. His dad, Justin, was the head coach last year. He's now the head football coach at Ponca City. And Justin Rowland played a handful of years in the National Football League. Williams, the senior, up 3-0, so a senior freshman matchup here at heavyweights. And when you're a freshman at heavyweight, I mean, you are wrestling men.
Yes, you are. I never had to deal with that. 113-pounder.
I was at 103 my senior year. I pretty much doubled in size, JD. 60 seconds in, one takedown, 3-0 score as that half Nelson up on the shoe tops. It's been a lot of fun these past couple of days.
It has been.
Coming to Austin here inside Flow headquarters in Austin, Texas. Shane Sparks, JD Rader, right here in the Flow Wrestling Studios. And plenty of great action the next couple of months. Flow Wrestling Night in America, midweek wrestling action, high school and college. Love it.
I'll never forget, speaking about wrestling at 113 pounds, my first ever high school match. It was a duel, or it was a try, but our first match was against Denver Tripoli. And this was
program.
It was the program. It was Dylan Peters senior year, Brandon Sorensen senior year, the Wolfensbergers. And I'll tell you what, I felt like probably some of these Ponca kids tonight, I was shaking in my boots pretty good because I thought I was going to have to wrestle Dylan Peters. He was 112 the year before, and this was the year they shifted the weight classes, and I was a 113-pounder. I didn't know if he was going to be...
You were beat at the weigh-in, basically.
I didn't know if he was going to be 112. He went up to 120, so I didn't have to wrestle him.
Lucky for him, JD.
That's right. That's right.
Lucky for him.
You don't know, Dylan Peters, he would go on to be an All-American for Northern Iowa. Stud. My
first high school match, JD, I weighed 80 pounds, had to drink 8 pounds of water, wrestled that season state runner-up. I was down 14-0 as I watched the clock tick inside of 5 seconds. If the period is over, I get teched. And that would have been, quite frankly, a real accomplishment. 1 second left, slap in the mat, I got pinned. Welcome to high school wrestling. Okay, headlock here for Landon Williams, looking to give the Huskies one more pin. He's got this one cinched up tight. Plenty of time, good position, perpendicular, and there is the slap in the mat. Landon Williams, a pin at 285, the senior for the Huskies. And this was a night, JD, where everything went right for Edmond North, as we talked about in this broadcast. A season ago, all 14 guys made the Oklahoma State tournaments, all 14 in the top 3. They had 8 state champions. They graduate 9, but you can tell The cupboard still plenty full. This is a really, really good team, top to bottom. Great night.
If you don't have to compete against them, you can kind of appreciate what they are, and that is a great high school wrestling team, truly one of the best in the country.
So Edmond North gets it done tonight.
I really don't have much to fan shots.
It is a final score with Edmond North. It was all Huskies here tonight. Shane Sparks, J.D. Rader, and just one of those nights. Sometimes, J.D., the reality is a little bit outclassed. A lot of talent for Edmond North. But hey, you put it on the line, you come out and compete, do the best you can, and that's what they did.
I'll tell you what, I got a hunch some of those kids are going to be able to tell their kids one day, hey, I wrestled this guy, because truly, some of these kids from Edmond North are going to go on and have success at the next level. I really do truly believe that.
Yeah, one of those guys was Rutledge. We saw him at 165 pounds. He's ranked number 2 in the country. Bonus his way to the top of the podium at the Ironman. We saw some really good talent here tonight. One of the top nationally ranked teams, ranked 14th in the country with the Flow High School rankings. Looking at some of the highlights here, this was Gooden, going to be a fall at, I believe this was 132. This was at 120 pounds. Gooden got the fall. This is Jake Collins. Collins at 120 pounds, a senior, 3-time state medalist. The state champion a year ago at 106. And he's going to get himself a fall. Collins gets that roll through tilt. Going to be a tech fall. Some more highlights for the win with the Huskies. Slaps in that hammerlock. R.L. Young, the sophomore, at 215. Gets the win tonight. And then at heavyweight, Landon Williams, the senior, head throw, locks up a tight headlock. And he is going to end this night with a pin at heavyweight for the Huskies. The Huskies win every match here tonight, and they get the shutouts. Edmond North showing JD why they are the 14th ranked team in the country. They won every match here tonight. A lot of pins. Really good performance for them.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to watching how this team can compete throughout the rest of the year and then at the Oklahoma State Tournament.
So Edmond North with the win tonight. For JD Rader and our Flow Wrestling production crew, I'm Shane Sparks saying good night from Austin.